It's so good to be back. I've just got a few things today, including a health update, a channel update, and I've got a couple of questions for you guys that I absolutely need some feedback on, so please watch this all the way to the end. I've got a couple of questions, and once I have those answers, I can then move forward with video making. I know right away, I know that some people don't like to comment, but this is one of those moments where, like, let your voice be heard. You know, don't let your shyness keep you from making a difference. Because I'm going to go through every single comment. Because at the end of the day, I just want to make better content for you guys. And I need all the feedback that I can get. But we'll get into that. For now, I just want to make a real quick announcement that pre-production on the Returners Hideout stuff starts next week, which will be January 23rd. I'm going to start the research and writing phase of the new batch of videos. And so one of the questions I have right off the bat is, what do you guys want to see? You know, do you want to see more of the deep dive things I did, for instance, with the Bannon is Duncan or Gogo is Baram? Do you want to see something along those lines again? Or maybe do you want to see more entry-level Final Fantasy content, similar to how many Final Fantasies are there? What is Final Fantasy? How did Final Fantasy get started? Or do you want to see more sort of helpful content, sort of like walkthroughs, boss strategies, or maybe you want to see more character analysis, like Kain from Final Fantasy IV. Since the channel began, I wanted to do something on Kain. I didn't know if that was something that you guys wanted to see, so I never did it. Or do you want to see challenges? I have a couple of challenges in the works, kind of, but I'm absolutely willing to put my frustration to the test in order to do some of these challenges that I have in mind. Or if you guys have an idea for one, I'd love to read it. And if I use any of your ideas, I'll absolutely give you full credit for it and say this video was you know, conceived by such and such person. Your name here. But I've been reading all sorts of comments since I've been sick, and we'll touch on that in just a minute. And there have been some ideas. I don't want to say what those ideas are quite yet, but I've read a couple of video ideas of things that you guys wanted to see. And also, there's been just a load of new subscribers to the channel while I was out. For example, as I'm filming this today, it is the 12th of January. I've had at least one subscriber, up to 6 per day since December 20th. So there's been a flood of new subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, then welcome aboard. I'm more than happy to have you here. And real quick, I'm totally revamping the podcast. I sort of got lost as far as what I wanted it to be versus what it ended up being. I don't know when it'll come back out, but actually if you go over to the Spotify and Apple podcasts, you can see them slowly disappearing. That's because I want to revamp it and make it into something better than what it was. I'm going to take those old podcasts and revamp them into something new. All right, and for the health update. So for those of you who don't know, I had the Rona. I did indeed have COVID. And here's the crazy part. I haven't gotten it this whole time. And then at the very end of 2022, it smacked me in the face and I ended up getting it. It's totally out. It's been out for a little while now. I've just been slowly sort of rebuilding, refocusing, and I gotta say, it really wasn't bad. It just felt like I had a cold, but it wasn't bad. I didn't have the body aches, I didn't have the headaches, I had nothing. It just felt like I had a cold. And in fact, the day I found out I had it, I was at work. I felt normal enough to where I just went into my day job. But I did spend a lot of time recovering and sleeping. Even though I felt fine, I just figured I should sleep. So that's just what I did for 8 days. And I also took that time and spent it away from the channel and my analytics and responding to comments because I wanted to prevent burnout from happening, because I know that can be a thing. And I don't want to burn out. Just this channel is way too fun for me to burn out. But I said all this ultimately because I wanted to say thank you to all of you, whether you're new or you've been here since day one. Like, you don't know how much I appreciate you guys being here and watching and commenting and liking and all that stuff. Because without you guys, I'm just a guy that's playing Final Fantasy games in the privacy of his own home, who writes and records these episodes and nothing to show for it. Without you guys, there is no Returners Hideout. And therefore, there's no community based around... Well, I mean, there's plenty of communities based around the Final Fantasy series, but This is one of them. And without you guys here, we wouldn't collectively, in this very specific group, would not exist. Lastly, without you guys, I would have no feedback as to what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. And in order for me to move forward with the channel, not really find the success of YouTube and stuff, but more so growing the channel to be a much larger community, and for me to be able to do bigger things. I don't know, thank you guys. Like, it means the world to me that things are happening with the channel. I mean, it's growing faster right now than it ever has. If I were to show you my analytics, and I'm not going to do that, everything is on an upward trend right now. Much bigger upward trends, it's a mouthful, than I've ever seen thus far. And so here's where I need your input. I've already asked you about what you wanted to see. I start the research phase, like I said, next week, and I've got some ideas also. In the first few videos, I believe the first 2 weeks worth of videos are just my ideas, and that'll sort of buy me some time while I filter through comments and take notes. And I'm also switching to 1 long video a week, long form video, and then 2 shorts on the weekends, and then a live stream on Sundays at 2 p.m. Central Time. That's right, starting February 5th, I am officially starting live streams, getting ideas for, I'm starting to get ideas for live streams now. And that's another thing, like, what would you like to see in those live streams? What should I be doing while conversing with you guys? Or should I just simply be conversing with you guys and nothing else? You know, do you want to see me play a Final Fantasy game or a non-Final Fantasy game? Should I just sit here? I think that for the first couple of them, I'm gonna sit here and just talk. Ultimately, I want to get to know each of you more, because I put myself out there all the time, but you guys don't necessarily have that opportunity unless it's a wall of text. And so I really want to get to know each returner, I guess, on a much more personal basis, if we can get to like a first name basis. And I've already got a few of you that I do know on a first name basis, which is just wild to me because one of you lives in England. And so that's ultimately what I want to do, but for the majority of the people here. I know not everybody's going to be on board with that whole idea, but I really feel like I can tailor make stuff specifically for different people if I know backstories and where you came into the series and all that fun stuff. But I thank you all for watching this video. It probably ended up being much longer than I expected. Please leave everything in a comment. I will read them. I will read them all. And I'm actually working, I'm going to start working now on responding to comments that I had let build up while I was sick. And I will see you back here in the beginning of February with some brand new content. And then the first live stream will be February 5th. And it's going to be super awkward. And yeah, and that's all I know about the live stream right now. I don't even know if like my equipment will work. But, and I don't think I've ever said this, but with this video specifically, if you made it to this point and you're not subbed yet, please consider doing that. This community is growing, and I'm really excited about it. And my views are up, my watch time is up. But if you need a video to go to just to sort of catch the drift of what the Returner's Hideout is all about, go ahead and check out this video where I talk about the ins and outs of getting into the Final Fantasy series.